Greetings and welcome to a new fascinating episode of the Arcane Archives. Tonight, we'll be venturing deep into the world of the Rosicrucian tradition, a path that's shrouded in mystery and steeped in esoteric wisdom.
Imagine a world where the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment is guided by the whispers of ancient secrets. That's the essence of the Rosicrucian tradition, a journey into the heart of self-transformation through knowledge and spiritual alchemy.
Yeah, it's a world where symbolism reigns supreme. The legendary figure of Christian Rosicrucius, a 14th century sage said to have journeyed through the Middle East absorbing ancient wisdom, is more than just a historical figure.
Rosicrucius himself embodies the very concept of spiritual transformation. He is the alchemist seeking to perfect the human spirit, not through the transmutation of physical elements, but through the refinement of consciousness itself. His alleged tomb, discovered 120 years after his supposed death, is a physical representation of the soul's journey towards enlightenment.
An octagonal chamber bathed in mystical light, adorned with alchemical inscriptions. It's practically begging for a modern retelling. But the true mystery lies not in the physical structure, but in the symbolism it embodies.
Yes. The Rosicrucian path is one of deciphering symbols, of looking beyond the surface to uncover the hidden meanings that lie within. It's a language that speaks to the soul, urging us to unlock the mysteries within ourselves. And speaking of unlocking mysteries, we must mention the foundational texts of the Rosicrucian tradition, the Fama Fraternitatis and the Confessio Fraternitatis.
These texts, shrouded in veiled symbolic language, present a challenge to those seeking to unravel their deeper truth. They lay out the principles and objectives of the Rosicrucian order, but their meaning is not easily grasped.
They require a shift in perspective, an ability to see beyond the literal and embrace the metaphorical. These texts invite us to engage in our own inner alchemy, to purify and perfect our own spirits.
Ah, yes, spiritual alchemy. It's a fascinating concept. Like the physical process of transmuting lead into gold, Rosicrucians believe in the possibility of transforming the human spirit. This internal journey is broken down into three key stages: calcination, dissolution, and coagulation.
Calcination. Think of it as a metaphorical burning away of impurities. It's the destruction of the ego and its negative influences. It's about confronting those aspects of ourselves that hinder our spiritual growth. Bad habits, negative thoughts, limiting beliefs. All must be burned away in the fire of self-awareness.
So in essence, calcination is about letting go of what no longer serves us. It's a process of purification, a stripping away of the superficial to reveal the true gold within. But what about dissolution? It sounds almost like a disintegration of the self.
In a way, it is. It's the dismantling of those rigid mental structures that prevent us from seeing the world with fresh eyes. Imagine those confining walls of your perception crumbling down, opening you up to new ideas, new perspectives, and a more expansive way of thinking.
So rather than losing yourself, it's about expanding yourself, breaking free from the confines of old patterns and embracing the fluidity of possibility.
Precisely. It's about becoming like water, adapting to the container of experience while retaining its essential nature. And finally, we have coagulation. It's the integration of the fragmented self, but in a new, refined form. Imagine a diamond born from the intense pressure exerted upon a lump of coal.
Coagulation is about crystallizing a new consciousness. It's the integration of all the spiritual learning and insights gained through the previous stages. It's not just about breaking down the old self, but also building up a new, more spiritually evolved self.
Yes, and this process is reflected in the alchemist's quest to transform base metals into gold, and their search for the elusive elixir of immortality. These are not merely physical pursuits, they are metaphors for the purification and rejuvenation of the soul, for the attainment of wisdom and self-realization.
It's fascinating how the Rosicrucian tradition connects the outer world to the inner world, recognizing that transformation happens on multiple levels. This brings us to another key element of Rosicrucian thought: their interpretation of Kabbalah, the Jewish mystical tradition.
Kabbalah, with its intricate symbolism and esoteric teachings, offers a profound roadmap for understanding the universe and ourselves. And at the heart of Kabbalah lies the Tree of Life, a symbol that maps out not just the cosmos, but also the human psyche.
So the Tree of Life serves as a guide for understanding both the macrocosm and the microcosm. But it's not simply a static map. The Rosicrucians use it as a tool for meditation, focusing on its 10 Sephirot.
Ah, yes. The Sephirot, each representing a different quality of existence, both within us and in the cosmos. By meditating on these spheres, Rosicrucians seek to attune themselves to these different aspects of creation.
So let's take a journey through the Sephirot, starting with Keter, the crown, which represents the very source of all creation, the divine will.
From Keter, we descend to Chokmah, representing wisdom, and Bina, representing understanding. These are the primordial masculine and feminine energies that set the universe in motion. From this dynamic interplay arises Chist, embodying mercy and expansion, and Bavura, representing severity and restriction.
These two Sephiros symbolize the balance between growth and boundaries, the dance between expansion and contraction that shapes our lives. And from this tension emerges Tiferet, the heart of the Tree of Life.
Tiferet, a place of beauty, harmony, and compassion, is where the upper and lower energies converge. It is the point of balance, the integration of opposites. From Tiferet, we flow into Netzach, associated with victory and emotion, and Herd, representing splendor and intellect.
So here we see the interplay between feeling and thinking, the forces that drive our actions and perceptions.
From this dance of emotion and intellect arises Yesod, the foundation. This is the realm of manifestation, where ideas and energies begin to take concrete form. And finally, we arrive at Malkuth, the kingdom, representing the physical realm, the world we experience with our senses.
The Tree of Life is not just an abstract symbol. It's a blueprint for understanding the interconnectedness of all things, the interplay of divine forces that shape our reality. And by meditating on these Sephiros, one can gain deeper insights into their own nature.
Yes. Meditation on the Tree of Life is a practice of aligning oneself with the cosmic order. It's a recognition that we are microcosms of the macrocosm, and that by understanding the universe, we can better understand ourselves. But this journey of self-discovery wouldn't be complete without exploring the concept of invisibility, a concept shrouded in mystique and intrigue.
Invisibility, a concept that has captured the imagination for centuries. But within the Rosicrucian tradition, it goes beyond the simple act of disappearing from sight. We must differentiate between two types of invisibility, physical and spiritual.
Physical invisibility, the stuff of legends, the ability to literally vanish from sight. Rosicrucian texts hint at the possibility of achieving this through intense meditation and visualization techniques, as well as the use of special symbols and amulets.
So it's not merely about trickery or illusion. It suggests a deeper understanding of energy and perception, a manipulation of the very fabric of reality.
Indeed. It's about bending the laws of reality through the power of the mind and the subtle forces that govern our world. Spiritual invisibility, on the other hand, is about achieving a state of such profound harmony with the spiritual realm that one's presence becomes undetectable to those who are not attuned to that level of awareness.
We have stories of individuals like Saint-Germain, an enigmatic figure who supposedly moved unseen through European courts. Or Apollonius of Chiana, the ancient philosopher who was said to vanish from crowds and reappear elsewhere.
These tales, whether based in fact or embellishment, point to a deeper truth about the nature of reality. That there are levels of perception beyond our ordinary senses. And perhaps, with the right knowledge and practice, we can learn to navigate these hidden realms.
And speaking of navigating realms, we can't forget the Rosicrucian mastery of the elements. Earth, water, air, and fire are not just physical substances in this tradition. They're also spiritual forces that can be harnessed for personal and spiritual growth.
Each element holds a unique energy, a symbolic meaning that resonates with the depths of our being. And by understanding the deeper significance of each element, we can learn to work with their energies to facilitate healing and transformation.
So how do the Rosicrucians actually work with these elements? What are some of their practices?
Take Earth, for example. It represents stability, grounding, and connection to the physical world. Rosicrucians might use crystals and stones in their meditations to connect with this element, drawing upon its grounding energy to foster a sense of stability and peace.
So it's about tapping into the inherent qualities of each element and channeling those energies for a specific purpose. It's like using the language of nature to communicate with the deeper aspects of ourselves.
Precisely. And just as Earth represents stability, water embodies fluidity, cleansing, and emotional release. Rituals involving water, particularly those performed near natural sources like springs or rivers, are common in the Rosicrucian tradition.
Water rituals. I can see how the symbolism of cleansing and purification would be potent, especially when performed in a natural setting.
Indeed. The sound of flowing water, the sensation of its coolness against the skin, these all contribute to a sense of renewal and release. And then there's air, the element of intellect, communication, and inspiration. Rosicrucians might incorporate breathing techniques, incense, or feathers into their practices to enhance mental clarity and connect with the element's ethereal nature.
Breathing techniques, you say. It's fascinating how something as simple as the breath can be used to influence our state of mind and connect us to a deeper level of awareness.
Absolutely. The breath is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. By consciously regulating our breath, we can regulate our energy, our thoughts, and even our emotions. And finally, we come to fire, the element of transformation, purification, and will.
Fire. Such a potent symbol, representing the burning away of impurities and the ignition of passion. How do Rosicrucians work with this element?
They might use candles or bonfires and rituals to symbolize the burning away of negativity. The visualization of flames consuming what no longer serves us can be a powerful catalyst for change.
It's a powerful image. To see those things that hold us back consumed by the flames, leaving us purified and renewed.
Yes. The use of fire in ritual is a way of enacting transformation on a symbolic level. But the Rosicrucian understanding of the elements goes beyond mere symbolism. They also believe that these elements can be harnessed for healing.
Healing. So they're not just meditating on the elements, they're actively working with their energies to promote well-being. This is where we'll delve deeper when we return.
Until then, let the mystery simmer. Indeed, it's not simply about contemplation. The Rosicrucian tradition embraces a practical approach to working with the elements for healing and transformation.
I found myself drawn to this idea of elemental healing.
Yeah.
What would that look like in practice?
Picture this. You're seeking a sense of grounding and stability in your life. The Rosicrucian might guide you to work with crystals, particularly those associated with the earth element. They might suggest visualizing roots growing down from your body into the earth, drawing up its strength and vitality.
It's a beautiful image. Feeling those roots connecting us to the earth's energy, anchoring us amidst the storms of life.
And for those seeking emotional healing and release, the element of water might be called upon. Imagine yourself standing beneath a waterfall, feeling the cascading water washing away negativity and stagnation. Or perhaps engaging in a ritual bath infused with herbs and salts, invoking water's purifying power.
Ah, water rituals. The sound of water, its fluidity and cleansing properties, it all speaks to a deep need for renewal and purification.
Precisely. And then there's the element of air. Imagine yourself practicing conscious breathing exercises, filling your lungs with life-giving air, releasing tension and inviting clarity. The Rosicrucian might guide you to visualize breathing in vibrant energy, exhaling stagnant or negative thoughts.
Breathing. It's such a simple act, yet it holds so much power.
Indeed. And don't forget the aroma of incense, a tool often used to connect with air's ethereal nature. Certain scents can uplift the spirit, stimulate the mind, and create a sacred space for healing and transformation.
It's like weaving a tapestry of sensory experiences to enhance the healing process.
And finally, we arrive at fire. Imagine yourself sitting before a bonfire, feeling its warmth, its energy, its transformative power. The Rosicrucian might guide you to visualize your negative thoughts and emotions being consumed by the flames, leaving you purified and renewed.
Fire. It's both destructive and creative. It can burn away the old to make way for the new.
Precisely. And it's not just about visualization. The Rosicrucian might incorporate the burning of specific herbs and resins, each chosen for its unique energetic properties. The smoke carries prayers and intentions for healing, cleansing, and transformation.
It's like offering up our burdens to the flames, releasing them and allowing ourselves to be reborn. But these elemental healing practices, they're not meant to replace conventional medicine, are they?
Of course not. It's about recognizing that true healing encompasses all aspects of our being, physical, emotional, and spiritual. These practices are seen as complementary approaches, working in harmony with other forms of healing to restore balance and well-being.
It's about empowering ourselves to take an active role in our own healing journey, recognizing the interconnectedness of our mind, body, and spirit. Now, in our exploration of Rosicrucian healing practices, we can't overlook the concept of animal magnetism. It's a term that's often met with skepticism, but there's a growing body of evidence suggesting its potential.
Animal magnetism, also known as mesmerism, refers to the subtle energy field that surrounds all living things. It's this invisible force that connects us to each other and to the universe itself.
So it's not just about magnets, as the name might suggest. It's about tapping into a deeper level of energy and interconnectedness that transcends the physical realm.
Precisely. Franz Anton Mesmer, an 18th century physician, popularized the concept. He believed that this magnetic fluid, as he called it, could be manipulated for healing purposes.
He was quite a controversial figure in his time, but his work opened up a new understanding of the relationship between energy and health. How did the Rosicrucians incorporate animal magnetism into their practices?
One of the key techniques is the laying on of hands. The practitioner places their hands on or near the recipient's body, channeling energy to promote healing. It's about facilitating a flow of energy from one being to another, guided by intention and compassion.
I could see how the touch of another person, particularly someone trained in these practices, could have a profound effect on the recipient's energy field.
Indeed. The laying on of hands is often accompanied by visualization techniques. The practitioner might visualize energy flowing from their hands into the recipient, often experiencing a sensation of warmth or tingling as the energy moves.
And this flow of energy, is it always directed outwards, from the practitioner to the recipient?
Not necessarily. There's also the technique of magnetic passes. Imagine the practitioner making gentle, sweeping hand movements over the recipient's body, not touching, but rather working with the subtle energy field.
It's like smoothing out wrinkles in the energy field, releasing blockages and promoting a harmonious flow. And where does breathwork fit into all of this?
Breathwork is paramount. Remember, the breath is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. By consciously regulating our breath, we can influence the flow of energy within the body.
I can see how deep, conscious breathing could enhance the effectiveness of these practices.
Absolutely. It's about becoming aware of the breath, using it as a tool to direct and amplify the flow of energy. And while skepticism remains, the effectiveness of animal magnetism has been documented in various historical accounts and even some modern research.
So it's not just anecdotal evidence. There's a growing body of research suggesting that these practices can have a real impact on our well-being. What about astrology? We can't explore the Rosicrucian tradition without delving into their reverence for the cosmos.
Astrology, often dismissed as mere superstition, holds a profound place within the Rosicrucian tradition. They see it as a tool for understanding the interplay between the celestial realm and our lives here on Earth.
It's like recognizing that we are not separate from the cosmos, but rather intimately connected to its rhythms and cycles.
Precisely. Rosicrucians use astrology not to predict the future with absolute certainty, but rather to gain insights into the energies at play. They delve into the intricacies of birth charts, analyzing the positions of planets at the moment of birth to understand an individual's unique potential and life path.
It's like a cosmic blueprint, revealing our strengths, weaknesses, and the lessons we are meant to learn in this lifetime.
Indeed. And they also study planetary aspects, the angular relationships between planets to understand how different energies interact and influence our experiences.
So it's not just about the individual planets, but also about how they relate to each other, creating a complex web of influences.
Precisely. And then there are transits, the ongoing movements of planets through the zodiac. These transits indicate how cosmic energies are influencing us in the present moment, highlighting opportunities for growth, challenges to overcome, and moments of alignment.
It's like tracking the weather patterns of the cosmos, becoming attuned to the subtle shifts in energy that can impact our moods, decisions, and life events. What is the purpose of all this astrological knowledge?
The Rosicrucian believes that by understanding these cosmic influences, we can make more informed choices, navigate challenges with greater awareness, and align ourselves with the flow of universal energy.
It's about recognizing our place within the grand tapestry of the cosmos, working with the energies rather than against them.
Indeed. And now we arrive at one of the most profound concepts within the Rosicrucian tradition, the alchemical marriage, a metaphorical representation of the union of opposites within the self.
The alchemical marriage. It sounds like a mystical union, a merging of two distinct yet complementary forces.
Precisely. It's a journey of integration and wholeness, a merging of the masculine and feminine principles, the sun and moon, the conscious and unconscious. This inner alchemy is often likened to the creation of the Philosopher's Stone, a legendary substance said to represent spiritual perfection.
The Philosopher's Stone, the ultimate goal of the alchemist. But here it's not about transmuting physical elements, but rather transmuting our own inner nature.
Precisely. The alchemical marriage is about transforming our lower nature into a state of spiritual enlightenment. It's about integrating the shadow and the light, embracing all aspects of ourselves to achieve wholeness. And there's a 17th century alchemical text that provides a vivid allegory for this transformative process.
Tell me more about this text.
It's called The Chemical Wedding of Christian Rosenkreuz. The story follows Christian Rosenkreuz, the legendary founder of the Rosicrucian order, as he receives an invitation to a mystical wedding.
A wedding. What does the wedding symbolize?
The wedding itself represents a series of trials and rituals. These trials symbolize the stages of spiritual purification and integration. The castle where the wedding takes place, well, it's a representation of the human psyche.
Fascinating. So the various rooms and inhabitants of the castle, they represent different aspects of the self.
Precisely. And the union of the bride and groom. This represents the merging of masculine and feminine energies within the individual, the ultimate goal of the alchemical marriage.
It's a powerful image of wholeness, a reminder that true enlightenment lies in embracing all aspects of ourselves, both light and shadow. But this alchemical marriage, it's not a one-time event, is it?
No. It's an ongoing process, a lifelong journey of self-discovery and integration. It's about bringing those seemingly opposing forces within ourselves into harmony, achieving a state of balance and wholeness.
So it's about transcending duality, recognizing that we are both light and shadow, masculine and feminine, and that by embracing both we can unlock a deeper level of spiritual understanding and power. But what happens when this physical life comes to an end? Does the journey end there?
That's where the Rosicrucian perspective on reincarnation comes in. They believe that death is not the end, but rather a transition point in an ongoing cycle of birth, death, and rebirth.
Reincarnation. The soul's journey continuing beyond the confines of this physical existence. What do the Rosicrucians believe is the purpose of this cycle of rebirth?
They see the soul as an eternal essence that incarnates into physical form multiple times. And the purpose of this: to gain experience, to evolve, and ultimately to achieve spiritual liberation.
Each lifetime offering new lessons, new challenges, and new opportunities for growth. It's like climbing a spiral staircase. With each step, we ascend higher, but the journey continues. But we're not alone on this journey, are we?
No, we're not. The Rosicrucian tradition also acknowledges the profound connections we forge with other souls, particularly those we call soulmates.
Soulmates. Souls that share a deep affinity, a connection that transcends time and space. Tell me more about these soulmate connections. What is their significance in this grand cycle of reincarnation?
Soulmate connections are threads woven through the tapestry of our soul's journey. Imagine souls that have danced together across lifetimes, recognizing each other on a deep, intuitive level. Their encounters ignite a spark of familiarity, a sense of knowing that transcends the boundaries of time and space.
So it's more than just a romantic connection. It's a soul-level bond that can manifest in various forms throughout our many lives. What is the purpose of these soulmate connections?
They serve as catalysts for growth, mirrors reflecting back to us our strengths and weaknesses, our hidden potential and the lessons we're meant to learn. Soulmates challenge us, inspire us, and support us on our path towards spiritual evolution. Their love acts as a guiding light, illuminating the path back to wholeness.
It's a beautiful concept. To think that we're not alone on this journey, that there are souls who walk beside us lifetime after lifetime, helping us to remember who we truly are. But what about the ultimate destination? This quest for spiritual immortality that the Rosicrucians speak of?
Ah, yes. The magnum opus or great work. It's the culmination of all the practices, all the insights, all the transformations that we've discussed. It's the pinnacle of the Rosicrucian path, a transformative journey that leads to the soul's ascension.
The soul's ascension. What does that entail? Is it about transcending the cycle of reincarnation?
It's about achieving a state of consciousness that is no longer bound by the limitations of the physical realm. It's about merging with the divine, becoming a co-creator with the universe. Think of it as a return to our original state of unity, a homecoming of sorts.
So it's not just about escaping the cycle of birth and death, but about evolving beyond those limitations, achieving a state of being that is beyond our current comprehension. And the Rosicrucians believe that this is possible for anyone.
They believe that within each of us lies the potential for this ultimate transformation. The magnum opus is not a journey reserved for a select few. It's a path that's open to anyone who is willing to dedicate themselves to the process of self-discovery, purification, and spiritual evolution.
But this magnum opus, it's not a quick fix, is it? It sounds like a long and arduous process.
It's a lifelong endeavor, a journey that unfolds in stages, mirroring the alchemical process of transforming base metals into gold.
Those stages being nigredo, albedo, and rubedo, as we discussed earlier, each stage representing a different level of transformation.
Precisely. Nigredo, the black work, is the stage of confronting our shadows, those aspects of ourselves that we'd rather keep hidden. It's about facing our fears, our limitations, and our deepest wounds.
It sounds like a painful process, a descent into the darkness of our own being.
It can be challenging, yes. But it's a necessary process. It's about breaking down the old structures, the limiting beliefs, and the patterns that no longer serve us. It's about purifying the ego, allowing the true self to emerge.
And what about albedo, the white work?
Albedo is the stage of illumination, purification, and clarity. Imagine the darkness lifting, a sense of lightness and peace permeating your being. It's about shedding the impurities, allowing the true essence of the soul to shine through.
It's like emerging from the darkness into the light, a sense of rebirth and renewal.
Precisely. And then we arrive at the final stage, rubedo, the red work. This is the stage of realization, union, and spiritual perfection. It's the culmination of the great work, the attainment of spiritual mastery, and the union of the soul with the divine.
It's the ultimate goal of the alchemist, the transformation of lead into gold. But in this context, it's the transformation of the self into a state of spiritual enlightenment.
Yes. The Rosicrucian path is a journey of transformation, of self-discovery, and of spiritual evolution. It's a path that embraces symbolism, alchemy, astrology, and a deep reverence for the natural world. It's a path that reminds us of our interconnectedness with the universe and our potential for profound growth.
It's a path that encourages us to look beyond the surface, to delve into the mysteries of our own being, and embrace the journey of becoming who we are truly meant to be.
We hope this deep dive into the Rosicrucian tradition has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to continue exploring the mysteries of this ancient path.
We're wrapping up. Stay inquisitive and see you next time.